Yo, yo, yo. Welcome back to Business Casual. I'm your host, Miles Brown. And today's topic is about the rise of young entrepreneurs in the post pandemic era. One of the things that I'm seeing the most is this uptick in young people asking me, yo, how did you get started? What made you, start the company? Was it hard? This, that, and the third. Because they're sick of working for people. And one of the big things is this shift towards independence and flexibility. And what I saw big was that the pandemic disrupted traditional career paths, prompting young individuals to prioritize work-life balance, flexibility, and independence more than ever. Many choose entrepreneurship as a way to regain control over their professional lives, leveraging digital tools and remote work trends to start businesses. I can't agree with that statement more. It, to me, it's more evident that there's so much to be gained from that work-life balance of I'm an entrepreneur, but the work-life balance and what I try to tell the young people is that it doesn't really work in your favor really until you can replace your income. And even then, that's really just the start, because when you become an entrepreneur, the way you have to look at it is that I'm working for myself. You can't be lazy and work for yourself. You can't put in the same effort that you would put in at McDonald's, Target, Walmart, Home Depot, any of those jobs, because that's not the effort in which it'll make you a profitable entrepreneur. When I first started my cleaning company, my marketing was me going around door to door, knocking on doors and asking for a chance to give a proposal and to see if we could beat the price of the people that were cleaning currently. At this point, it's really hard to identify whether the newer generation, the Gen Z generation, has that fire in them to be able to knock on those doors. And they want to do everything over the internet, which is cool. You can get a lot of traffic and a lot of things popping online, but eventually, even if you get to the proposal, they're going to have to meet you face to face, and your personable skills are going to have to shine. That was one of the things that I found out about myself once I started going door to door to ask for opportunities, was that I was very personable. Once I got into the door, my salesmanship just turned right on. I was able to effectively tell the people how they would benefit from working with me. But I always made it a point not to trash who they had currently, because I feel like you never want to put down any other business owner or somebody who's been doing their job. And like one of the tactics that a lot of cleaning companies have, they'll go in, they'll have a white glove, they'll be wiping dust off of stuff and pointing out baseboards and this, that, and the third. But what I've realized from time, they wouldn't be calling you if there wasn't a problem. Most people find it harder to switch companies than to just keep the company they have if the price is like reasonable. So if they're taking the time to call you in, there's no real need for bashing of the other person. And I think that goes for a ton of other businesses as well. It's not just service-based businesses, it's also products. Like your product will speak for itself. They were attracted to your marketing enough to get to the door to purchase the first item. Let them experience that. Talk up how you do your thing, and for the young generation, there's a lot of this hater and this person's hating on me, they hating on me. Let all of that go at the front door, because once you realize business does not care anything about your feelings, it's easier to get business, and it's easier not to take things rough, because the independence and the flexibility I have now at 36, when I started my company at 19, I didn't have that. I was working at Nordstrom's, going to college, and I was still knocking on doors in my free time to build up enough contracts so that I could quit my job at Nordstrom's. And I was living with my mom. And for people who know my mom, she is a very serious, on your tail type of person. Did you clean the bathroom? Are the dishes washed? Why are you taking a nap? Get up. You need to be doing this. You need to be doing. So it was a really, really tough era in my life. And I know the young people know exactly what I'm talking about, having those type of parents. And if you don't have those type of parents, honestly, that was a great motivator for me to get on my tail and get out there and push hard and knock on those doors, and to hone my sales skills and to be on the front lines, because, going home wasn't great. So why not be out in the streets, getting my money up, putting my foot forward, and putting myself in a position to actually win. But I think the young people who are going to find it hard to make this switch to an entrepreneur are young people who have very easygoing parents who don't care if you sit up and play the Xbox or PlayStation 24 hours a day. They don't care if you don't crack open a book and you just on YouTube 100 hours a day watching content that's not edification to your brain. And one of the things that's going to separate you from the million of other youths that want to start a business and become successful, I would say it's understanding to take your feelings and emotions out of it, and the independence and the flexibility comes later. So yes, you're working your own schedule. Yes, you have the independence to do as much as you want. Yes, there's no glass ceiling, but they give you enough rope to hang yourself, even to this day, 36 years old, 14 years in business, 15 years now. I can still find myself getting into those patches of time where I haven't marketed as effectively as I should. Things are slowing down naturally. I got my fourth kid, so I'm running around like crazy, taking care of them and not really paying too much attention to the business. And what I've found that helps is by putting so many strategic plans in place. Like, you have to have contingency plans in place. You have to have automation in place. You have to use the tools to your benefit. And that brings me to technology as an enabler. And now a quick word from my sponsor. Today's show is being recorded on the Blue Yeti mic. Elevate your podcast game with the Blue Yeti mic. Crystal clear audio, versatile recording modes, and a sleek design makes the Blue Yeti podcast microphone the perfect companion for creators. Whether you're recording solo, interviewing guests, or streaming live, the Yeti delivers studio quality sound every time. Why choose Blue Yeti? Plug and play setup for instant recording, 4 recording patterns for ultimate flexibility, crisp professional audio your audience will love. Take your podcast to the next level with a mic trusted by pros. Blue Yeti, hear the difference. Shop today. In the description, click the link if you want to support this podcast. Peace. Back to your show. Digital platforms and social media have significantly lowered the barrier to entry for young entrepreneurs. From e-commerce platforms like Shopify to social media marketing on TikTok and Instagram, Young business owners are using technology to launch and scale their ventures quickly and cost effectively. This is what made me successful when I first started at 19. I went out, I was knocking door to door. That was cheap. It just cost me my time and my labor, which eventually is going to become way too expensive. Like right now, I don't have the time and the energy to go out and be knocking on nobody's door. But in the beginning, when you broke and you don't have no money like that, that's a great way to get out there and to, beat the odds. The second thing I did, I was really savvy about having a website, SEO, which is search engine optimization, trying to rank as high as I possibly could locally on my Google, my business page. And some of these things didn't even exist. SEO existed back then for your website. My Google, my business was just starting to ramp up. And just being ahead of the curve, like right now, a lot of these kids have extensive knowledge in how TikTok patterns work. And I think if they can use their marketing brain to tap into what catches their attention, it'll be easier for you to transition your business and to focus on, okay, I know how the books and all of these different things are telling me how to catch these people's attention, but you want to be ahead of the curve when it comes to marketing and figuring out the most cost-effective, cheap ways to engage with as many people as you possibly can for the lowest cost, because marketing is about putting yourself in front of as many people as often as you possibly can. Right now, instead of me going out and knocking on the doors, I can invest hundreds to thousands of dollars to have flyers delivered to those same businesses where I would have to knock on their door. And so that's kind of like, okay, boom, they get a flyer from me, then they get an email from me, then they get, maybe I knock on their door if I'm in their area and I have business already in their area, then I'm knocking on their door and just popping in to drop off a business card. And so by that time, they've gotten a flyer from me. They've seen my website is ranking #1 locally in their area. Then they see that I'm actually out and about checking in on my workers and I'm there. So the sale becomes even more easy as you go with service-based businesses and with products. Being able to have like a TikTok shop, Instagram, your own website like Shopify where you could sell these products directly off of the website. These things are making the barrier of entry. Like there's no wonder that, who is this? The New York Post is saying Gen Z more likely than their parents, grandparents to become entrepreneurs. Of course, we have, even as millennials, I had the access to the internet to just start my own business, get a website, and it was pretty cost effective. It wasn't costing me crazy amounts of money, but some people weren't even willing to put that bit of investment into their life to get their business off the ground. And which brings me to the third point: focus on purpose-driven ventures. So right now, young entrepreneurs are increasingly creating businesses with a strong social or environmental mission, whether it's sustainability, focused products, mental health services, or community-driven initiatives. These ventures reflect the shift towards businesses that align with personal values and broader social, societal goals. It's so cool to see the natural hair movement in the young generation moving away from the wigs and the weaves and in the black girl community, and really just the women community in general, and embracing and loving their hair. And these girls are coming up with the most amazing hair products from scratch. I'm talking about chiba seeds, coconut infused oil with rosemary, all of these things that got the hair popping, looking beautiful. So not only are they making sure you get a nice product, it actually has a great mission. Love yourself, love your hair, take care of what's yours. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's something that I really love about the millennials, the Gen Zs. We really picked up that ball of loving ourselves and focusing. Like, yeah, we can talk about all the L's that millennials and Gen Zs have taken, but some of the greatest things I think is that focus on self-love, self-care, mental health services. I hear so many more black men today talking about going to therapy. Like me, myself, I'm in therapy. It's not because of trauma or anything like that, but running a business, having 4 kids, being married, starting a new ventures, and all of that brings heavy stress on your life. And sometimes it's not good to expose what you got popping with your friends and your family. Sometimes you need to have a quiet, safe space, like talking to a therapist, where you can kind of flush those ideas out, get them out of your head, and actually understand what it means to hear those thoughts outside of yourself and process them accordingly in a safe space. And that has done tremendous for me as a business owner. And I'm really glad to see the young population doing their thing and making this a situation where they're going to be entrepreneurs. They're going to have the freedom and the independence that our generation and the generations before us couldn't dream about. Like right now, being 36, having my own company, expanding into another company that is product based. Right now, I have a service based business that I've been running for 14, 15 years. I have a product that I've been developing that I have one granted patent and another patent that I'm working on. And the freedom to have started at 19, I don't know what I like. The things I wish I could tell myself about how dark and how low it gets sometimes when people looking at you weird, oh, you running a cleaning company, it's this, it's that. Now, running a cleaning company and being a cleaner is completely different than owning a cleaning company. And that's the vision that I had. When I was mopping those floors every day, when I was taking out the trash, when I was doing all of those things because I couldn't afford labor at that time, it seemed a bit demeaning at the time. But it wasn't demeaning to me because I had a vision. I knew what this was going to be. I knew one day I would be able to take care of a family of 4 and work from home off the laptop, chilling when most people have to wake up at a certain time to get to work, to go there. No, I put my work in early so that I could chill later. And now I have opportunities that I wouldn't have had if I wasn't willing to look crazy knocking on all of those doors and people like, oh, what is he doing in here? Why is he trying to sell us this? What's this? It doesn't matter. I hit my financial goals. I did what I was supposed to do. And now I'm in a position where I'm winning. And you don't get there by taking shortcuts. You don't get there by ripping people off. You don't get there by doing bad business in any type of way. You don't get there by skimming and cheapening out on labor and making sure they don't get paid correctly. Everybody has to eat so that you can eat. And here's the verse of the day. I always want to end now 2025 with a verse. This is Matthew 18:20. Where 2 or 3 people are gathered in my name, and we talking about Christ, Jesus, I am there with them. So we talk a lot about independence, flexibility, being able to do your own thing, but we can't forget about community and who we doing this for. Grab 1 or 2 people who truly believe the way you believe. Sit down, pray, talk about the Most High, give praise, honor, and glory for all of the success that this new year is going to bring. Be thankful for the year that has passed. Realize that all of the losses from everything that has happened thus far in your life are just lessons to be learned and to go forward. And until next time, I'm your host, Miles Brown. Peace.